I planned to react to the soundtrack today. I did not plan on the composer of the soundtrack being in chat today. Not that I would ever be mean about a soundtrack that I'm listening to. And also not that I'm like gonna like not say what I honestly think about the soundtrack as I listen to it. I want to listen through some of these and just give like my immediate instinct now that I've played through the game and I have an idea of the vibe of it. So first up, we got Sapphire Sights. Like I said, this is the one that immediately made me feel like Mania vibes right out the gate, and I really liked that. It was the thing that said to me, like, okay, you do not need to expect Genesis sound fonts throughout this. There are no limits as to what you could hear in this, and I really like that. I really like that we're going beyond just chiptune sounds while still keeping like the joy and the excitement of this. You got the organ, the distorted guitars. Bass fill. That was sick. Yeah, you've got really complex harmony going on, Hollie. Like some key changes and stuff. A lot of borrowed chords. I like it. Here's our first mini boss, Sweet Devastation. And this is a good fight song. I need energy in my boss fights, you know? I love this. I love that it opens up and you get this little lead playing. Yeah, that's great. That's a good mini boss theme. It's not too like overly epic because this is just the warm up for Robotnik, but it still gets you pumped, gets you excited. I love it. Act 2. Now, I need to listen back to Act 1 real quick. Sweet. This is cool. I noticed there's a key change between Act 1 and 2. And that's very cool. It can make it slightly harder for the listener to like immediately connect Act 1 and 2 as themes. But I like it. I'd be curious what prompted the key change there. Because that's the biggest challenge going from Act 1 to Act 2 is finding that that balance of like keeping your main themes there strongly enough to be clear that it's a remix of the same song. A change in elevation, the level is higher up, so Act 2 is a semitone above. That's really cool. I love that there's thought behind it. That's great. And this really feels much freer and more open. Because yeah, you're way on top. Almost on top of a mountaintop situation. Very cool. We got our first Eggman battle. This is the first boss fight. There's high expectations for the first boss fight song. We got our first Eggman battle. This is the first boss fight. There's high expectations for the first boss fight song. It's really smooth. It's a good vibe. This, I will be honest, does not feel like this is not what I would have pictured for a boss song. I was expecting more like energy and tempo. I still really like it, and it just wasn't 100% what I was expecting. It's still really cool though. And these are written like real bass players would play them. That's so key, you know? Like so many bass lines, so many people who are working mostly in the MIDI domain are writing without knowledge of how the instruments are played. And so they'll do things that actual bass players wouldn't do. But you're not. You're writing it like a bass player, Hollie, and that's so cool. I love it. You're right, Tercera. You're right. That does make sense. It's kind of it's a warm up because the Fallen Star wasn't found yet. That main plot point hadn't hit yet. You're right. That makes sense, Tercera. Here's Tropical Tracks. This is so cool. Oh, there's some dirty chords in there. It's like a minor chord where I wouldn't expect a minor chord, and that's really, really cool. Almost getting like a flat 9 feel. I'm getting way too jazz theory on this. Sick. Little breakdown. Little steel drum, yeah. Getting the tropical vibes. I love that you used like elements like tropes we use. Like when you're in a jungle, you use steel drum. That's just what you do. And I really like that you did it in a way that didn't feel cliche. Sweet. Moving on to Act 2 of Tropical Tracks. This is Sundown Syndrome. This is the one that stuck with me the most from what I heard today. I really liked this one. You stole the name of this song from a Tame Impala song. Nice. Nothing wrong with that. I love that side chain. Call and response between the melody and those things on the side. Yep. Now you're just showing off. That's so good. I need to hear that again. I'm going back. Hang on. Oh, that little double pop. Come on. That's some real bass stuff there. That's some Victor Wooten stuff. That's serious. No one does that. I love it. That was dirty. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. This is versus the Benedict Express. Oh, this is the train fight at the end of that stage. Yes, Danger on the Discount Line. This is boss fight music. You're doing a great job of something that I struggle with, which is not letting the guitars overpower the rest of the mix. In my mixes, guitars are always like doing that to everything else. And here the guitars are sitting so just elegantly on the sides. They're cool, they're chilling. They're not like... I've been criticizing my own mixes a lot lately. I've been trying to get a handle on that. But this is clean. This whole soundtrack is mixed really clean. Yeah, that's awesome. Discount Districts. The one thing. This is good. I like this. The one thing I'll say about this that got me, the car horn in the left ear. It's just such a pet peeve of mine when songs use car horns or sirens. Because I'll be driving listening to them. And yes, I drive around listening to video game music sometimes. And I'll hear a horn and be like, oh god, what? Or a siren. It just like triggers such a primal reflex. I really love how snappy the pianos are here. They're so like tight. I thought at first it was going to be like a Studiopolis type thing because of the piano, but it's not. Love this lead. Yes! And I didn't notice there were some serious key changes going on because we were somewhere else by the end of that. And when that drum fill took us back around, we were someplace else. I liked that. Let's check out Act 2. This is very Studiopolis. I love it. I think while we were playing, I might have commented on this lead a little bit, as it was the first thing that jumped out at me that I wasn't crazy about. But once it hits, now that we're getting in and it's really jazzy, you got the sax lead, I like it. I mean, you must have a jazz background, right? Fab Filter Twin, sweet, I haven't checked that out. I mean, because I've heard people faking the jazz feel before. This is not that. This is like some legit piano comping and stuff. This is serious. We're at the special stage soundtrack now. Let's check it out. Yeah. So 80s, I love it. Yeah. Sweet, Hollie. That's awesome. That's it. So many people lock themselves out of music theory thinking it's either too hard or it's gonna like limit them in what they can do. I can hear F-Zero, yeah. You're not even in college yet? God, these young people are making such amazing stuff. I wasn't making anything nearly this good before I got into college. This is fantastic. On to Bubble Blossom Act. Is this the time signature change Sarah was talking about earlier? That's such a good drum groove. Yeah. That's, what is that? Shoot. That chord progression. Is that the Nutcracker? That chord progression? That's so good. Yeah, love it, love it. Act 2. Such completely different vibes, I love it. This is Act 2. Confetti Cannon to Paradise. Those chord changes are wild. There is time signature change there. We're in 12/8. Until. Ah, that's good. Amy, It's Cold Outside. That's the best name for a song. Like I said before, I really like that this has a little bit of the flavor of Ice Cap with that tempo, the dance feel, but then takes it in totally its own space. Great little guitar solo in there. It's so funny, the lead on this reminds me of the Gravity Falls melody. Here's Act 2 of Frozen Fountain, Continental Lifts. I love this guitar solo. This is the first song you made for the soundtrack? Sick. Yeah. Great, straightforward chord progression. Super good. Oh, that drum run is so good. Here's Gusty Greenhouse, Act 1. I don't even have anything to say about this one. It's just a good vibe. Great chord progression composition. That's it. That shift. That's good. How sick is this? That drop into halftime. That's such like Questlove style drumming there too. Really good. That's sick. The Metal Sonic fight. Really subtle horns in my right ear. I like it. I just want to point out, like, such good usage of different levels of intensity between sections. We came from that big intro, and then it just like opened up and cooled off till it's just piano, bass, and drums. And that's so cool. And now it's ramping back up again as we head back into the chorus. You want to use these kinds of changes to make sure your music moves with the listener and you're not just punching them in the face the whole time. You gotta like ease up on them for a second so they can recover before you hit them with the next big cool thing. This is great. Every song has some section that just surprises me and I love it. I'm always in the best way, just like totally surprised. On to Carnival Crater Act 1. This Keg is a Circus. That's a great title. Like I was saying, I love that this has the swing vibes of like a casino kind of place, but with the guitars, because everything's on fire, there's lava everywhere. So the guitars add that fire while keeping things in like swing department. I love it. Oh, that shift. Can we count that? We're in 12/8 here. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. 1, 4. And then there's a shift coming up in a second. We're in 12/8 until 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we're back. Oh, that's so sick. I don't hear that nearly often enough. People playing with that interplay between 6/8 and 3/4. Carnival Crater Act 2. Forged in the Fire. Taking it to like a speed rock thing. The guitar on the right was a distorted synth. Yeah, totally. So, like, a guitar doesn't have to be a guitar. It's just anything crunchy that you can play chords on. This one you were saying has like Arctic Monkeys influence. I like it. Splatoon, Mario Kart. I can hear those. Definitely more, I don't know about Mario Kart actually. It's a little too like frantic to be Mario Kart, and I like that. This reminds me, you know what it is? It's a little bit of, and I don't know how he's listening to this or not, but like a little bit like stuff like the Mars Volta or At the Drive-In. Basically anything Omar Rodriguez Lopez has touched. This is cool. Raspberry River Act 1. Totally different. Yeah, it's wild. You're absolutely right, Def Trep. Howie's range is incredible. What? What is that? I mean, really, every instrument I'm hearing is being played like that instrument's player would play it. And like, nothing sounds like someone just hammering in MIDI notes and they don't know how the instrument's played. Like, that was played like a flute player would play that lick, and that is crazy. And all the drums are played like a drummer would play, and the guitars, and the bass, and the piano. It's just really good. That's such an important thing to get right, and this soundtrack gets it right. Here's Act 2 of Raspberry River. There's so much cool stuff happening in the drums. Five. Yeah. Whoa. It's going between like 5/4 and 5/8, and that's really, really cool. Sheesh. I'm blown away. Definitely good final level vibes. This is Thunder Turbine Act 1. Don't look down. You're heading towards something big. I love the space in these songs. There's just room to breathe. I love it. Act 2 of Thunder Turbine, Music to Infiltrate by. That's my favorite title on the album. Yes. Big final run. This, I can hear Danny Baranowski in this. I can absolutely hear like the Hell theme. Totally. I love it. I really, really love it. Heading into the final boss themes. This is the first final boss, Dance of the Pseudo-Psycho. So this would be like your Big Arms equivalent, right? Great drums. Super blown out indie mix. Yes! I love that you're thinking of it that way too. You're giving thought creatively to the mix. I'm always approaching it from just like, I'm gonna make a super clean mix. I'm gonna like make it the most perfect modern rock or metal mix, but like, you're taking a creative approach with it. Like, this is frantic. Let's push it into the master. Let's give it some clipping. Let's give it some tape saturation. Really get it crunchy. I love it. And then we have true final boss. This is your Doomsday situation. Superstar Space Warrior. Let's take a listen. Bass line in the middle, everything coming together. Hollie, what horns are you using on this? This one and the last song. Really great, like, orchestral horns here. This really, more than anything, reminds me of, like, the final boss themes in, like, Kirby games. Really good stuff there. such a cool sense of harmony too. Just like going such interesting places with the keys. Really, really good. What is your thought process when you're going through like these key changes, these modulations? How are you getting there? Is it just trying random chords and working backwards from there, or because that's kind of my approach sometimes. But really, there's such good intentional modulations here, key changes. This is beautiful. The song's in both F major and F minor. Oh, that's good. That parallel motion between those two is so cool. That's really, really cool. It can get really tropey with Final Boss themes to be like overly like cinematic and like march-like, or maybe like super metal and stuff. Like I always go metal with my Final Boss kind of style stuff. But this is just its own kind of like epic and joyous, and it's so cool. So cool. Credit song. I was waiting for the chords to explain that bass line. Yeah. There you go. Jazzy. I feel like there's a little bit like Weezer in here, maybe. That pumping sound in the pianos, that's super cool. And yeah, Tame Impala, you're right. Cool. All right, that was a fantastic soundtrack. Thank you so much to Hollie for hanging out in chat and giving us insight into the production process on this one. And amazing work on this soundtrack, Hollie. Truly amazing. I can't wait to see what you're working on next with Star Drop. Sweet. All right. Thank you all so much for hanging out. If you like what you heard, as always, subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.